Hello and welcome back to Let's Play CAYNE. Now, when last we left off, we had discovered this terminal that's right in front of Hadley here, and we need to input a password. However, I wasn't sure what the password was, so I was going back through the facility to try and locate it. Couldn't find it, and yeah, whilst I was editing my footage, I discovered the password in one of my earlier videos. So, that was fortunate, because I really don't know how we would have progressed without it, to be fair. Okay, so the password is plus lightning bolt flag, according to my original footage, so let's see. And we've unlocked the passage. Okay, how do we down here then? So I'm going to assume we need to make the long run all the way down here. Poor Hadley having to run all the way down here in her current condition. That's got to be some work. But when you want to survive, you find a way. Come on, Hadley, get those running shoes on. You're only, what, 9 months pregnant? Hello. Found a storage room. I really don't think we need to worry about C-sex somehow. Okay, a series of unremarkable numbers are etched into the sides of the crates. Do anything with these?
Stupid Hadley.
Secret beta achievement unlocked. I have no idea what any of that means. Storage container. It's some sort of industrial cargo crate, but the ID decals on the sides have been damaged. Okay, we've got a fuse box.
The fuse is melted.
Great. I'm going to assume we can't do anything here because we need a PDT. She's just going to look at it. It's not very helpful, Hadley. Not very helpful. So we've got this far. Tendrils of fungi move lazily in the dry air. Gross. Oh, no, I didn't mean to do that. I'm going to click on this thing. Right, let's see. What can we use here as a fuse? Maybe the sharp blade.
If I turn it around, it might fit. Probably not.
Okay. Don't think data records is going to help us out here. How about the key card? I'm going to assume that's a no. Omni tool? Maybe there's a tool.
Stupid Hadley!
No, stupid me. Protein powder.
Don't worry, little guy. I'm not that stupid.
Okay, can we combine any of these?
Hadley, what would your mother say?
Eh?
Maybe if I rotate it sideways. No.
Nope.
Hadley, what would your mother say?
Okay. Oh! Hey, okay, what have I done here? ID card covered in powder. The card's static plastic surface is now entirely coated with the ultrafine protein powder. Oh well, may as well give it a go. What? How is this going to act like a fuse?
That worked out better than I thought it would.
Yeah. I'll agree with you on that one, Hadley. So now what? Now what do I do? Nuggeneering card? No. Can I move this? No. I'm trying my best here to figure out what the heck is going on. Right, okay. So... Ooh. Oh, I see. There's the pattern there for the fuse. Maybe we can... Hey! We cut the pattern out, of course.
Well done, me.
I don't know if we want to go through here, you know. But we need a PDT, so... Come on, Hadley Miguel.
Sorry, I mean... Gee whiskers.
What is it?
It's... brains.
Brains?
Brains.
Animal?
No, I don't think so.
Nice. Ooh, we've got a PDA here. Worn wooden desk. Oh, I'd like that desk for myself. Just with less of whatever that is on there. Bloated brain floating in a vat. Lumps of tissue have started to separate from the frontal and occipital lobes and squirm like bloodless tentacles in the preservation fluid. Doesn't that just make you feel hungry? Viscous preservation fluid bubbles around the disembodied brain. A faint rotting smell permeates the immediate air. The inside of the tube is encrusted with ice, perhaps as a result of cryogenic freezing. A low hum radiates from this brain nutrient tank. Ugh. And the cloying stench of putrefaction hangs like a pall over the plastic pallet. And a swirling mass of neon particles makes up an animated, anatomically accurate model of a human skull. The effect is probably much more disconcerting than the lab designers intended. Well, let's have a goose at this PDA. God damn. Sharon Kane Musk, January 27th. That fucking bitch. I mean, I get it. She's John's daughter. She's a big deal or whatever. But I'm a Kane. And that spoiled brat needs to know her place. So maybe I'm not her biological mother. Not some nobody gutter whore from the dust colonies. But her father and I are lovers now. And she has to accept that and show some respect. I think I'm going to start insisting that she call me mother, just for today's insolence, and I can probably use John's pathetic piety to play the two of them off each other when she inevitably defies me. That should be amusing. Besides, without me, the whole team would be totally screwed because I'm the only one who can go near Samantha. Me, not Julia, not even John. Me! Sharon Kane Musk, February 10th. Samantha and I have a mutual understanding, I think, an experimental bond, me with my disabilities and she with her idiosyncrasies. Ever since the stroke, people treat me like I'm different, like I'm other, so I can empathize with her. She's more than just a product to me. She's a collaborator, a conspirator, even. It's not like anybody else knows about our special experiments. The CEO has arrived at the facility. If I hadn't handled some of the paperwork myself, I'd probably have known anyway, because John was especially devout about his purification rituals when we met last night. I was still scrubbing blood out of the upholstery this morning, the shit I tolerate for my career prospects. Jesus. Since when am I accountable to the fucking support staff? That Danny Boland has become a constant and insufferable nuisance, skulking around in my lab and asking too many questions. He's in charge of managing the facility's life support systems, not our research work. I told Samantha about it. She said I should bring her Danny's pet parrot. I think she said that. It's the kind of thing she would say. Jesus, girl. Note: during the weekly inventory, I noticed that 2 grubs are missing from the habitat. Julia's sleazy friend for a mid-transfer has been hanging around our department lately, and he's expressed an overly keen interest in our specimens. Did he take them, and for what? Sharon K. Must to Daddy Boland. Subject: accident. Your bird got into Samantha's birthing lab somehow and was killed. It may be some consolation to know that despite such regrettable tragedy, we've gleaned valuable information about Samantha's behavior in the process. She prefers to prolong the suffering of her prey, for example. This could be useful in our research. Sorry about that, Sharon. God, what a bitch! God damn. I think that John and Julia aren't talking to each other. Between the food poisoning epidemic, a frustrating lack of real progress in our department's work, and her consistent refusal to properly acknowledge me as part of the family, I guess everything is a bit volatile at the moment. Samantha thinks it's hilarious, but I'm questioning my own precious position in the middle of things now. John is locking himself up in his office and sulking all day isn't exactly helping me, and Julia's sullen disregard is now turning into blatant hostility. Not fucking constructive, Sharon. Samantha has been sort of subdued for the last week or so. She won't tell me what the problem is, but I think it might be something to do with the temperature in the labs. Danny Boland is enforcing new atmosphere maintenance regulations, ostensibly to eliminate thermal fluctuations in the food storage as possible reason for the ration spoiling. But I suspect it's pretty petty revenge for the parrot incident. With the temperature now kept below the habitat's usual 95 degrees, however, Samantha's grubs are drowsy and morose. I visited the atmospheric control room today to see if I could adjust the temperature in our labs, and I made the most intriguing discovery. Somebody has been collecting body parts and making some sort of thing. An organic simulacrum. Maybe. I must assume it's some secret, obviously desperate new research development in Dr. Adams's department, so I've told John and Julia about it. Tensions have now been temporarily forgotten as our team redoubles its efforts to resolve the problem of advanced organ regrowth. Samantha has become increasingly uncooperative, though. I think she liked it when everybody was preoccupied with circumstantial drama and not her. I've got a feeling Samantha was trying to plan something, and now she hasn't got the time to do it because you all keep looking in on her. My personal stem cell therapy project has had some unanticipated results. I developed what appears to be a cluster of sphincter-like gland ducts around my lower abdomen, groin, and upper thighs, somewhat resembling those found in more mature grub specimens that emit some sort of musky, jellyish discharge, perhaps a pheromone. Did I mix up my glial regeneration sequences, or were the samples contaminated? It doesn't matter now. John's become obsessed with them. I suppose the flagellation thing should have clued me into his predilection for kinky sex stuff. But this is a whole other level. I won't lie though, it's kinda hot. Clinical improvement on my mobility and speech issues is limited, however, so that's a bust. Shit. We've been in lockdown for a week and only briefly released today for an emergency drill. Something is going on around here, but nobody's talking about it. First the food poisoning, then the fungus infestation, and now what? I'm down to my last pack of cigarettes. I shouldn't have taken this fucking assignment. I'm not even directly related to CAYNE, only through marriage, and my second cousins at that. But here I am, stuck in this crumbling science museum, sleeping with a decrepit zealot pervert and trying to mend my troubled relationship with the creature from the Black Lagoon, because it's the only really meaningful thing I have in here. What have I become? Ooh, a private message from Julia Cairn to Sharon Kane Musk. Subject, project update. Sharon, we need to discuss the situation with Samantha. It's important. Meet me in the birthing lab Nexus in 15 minutes. Julia. The unlock code is... Ooh, you know what? I'm going to write this one down. Because clearly the last one was important. Right, guys? Right? Okay, so that is a lightning bolt. Another lightning bolt. A triangle. And a plus. Right. With that written down, we can move on. Oh, and that was the last message. Good stuff. Right, well, let's have a good look around in here, see whether or not there's anything else we need to glean from this place. Coffee stains and random assortment of inscrutable and insignificant academic junk clutter the antique walnut top. Doesn't appear to be anything else we can do in here. Don't keep talking to me, machine. Barely perceptible low-level vibrations rumble through the scanner at regular intervals. So I wonder then if we just need to take that passcode that we've just received and open up the birthing chamber. By the way, just so you know, opening up a birthing chamber in this place is not a good idea. Thank you. Oh, for a second I thought it was something I could pick up, but it just seems to be glowing dust particles in the air, I can only assume. Oh, come on, Hadley, you can do it. Round those little legs off, yeah. Right. Well, hello. Brain emulation lab. No, that's not the one we want. Nope, we don't want central elevator access. Birthing lab Nexus. Oh, this is going to be so bad. Lightning bolt, strange arrow, plus.
Is there anything else you can make out around you?
No. A deep thumping noise. Like a machine.
Another generator, maybe? Focus on the last thing you do remember.
I can't. There are flashes. A hospital. Family. They didn't like me much.
Join the club.
They wanted what I have.
Oh? What's that?
Money. My name. Then they left me. Or I pushed them away.
Why?
They weren't good enough. They weren't willing to put in the hard work. Wanted to be given things. Given. The things that I bled over.
Well, I don't talk to Mother anymore. And my dad... Well, no clue who he is. She was distant. Maybe she was always like that. Maybe I was just unlikable. She sure made it clear, often enough, that I was too much like him. That she saw too much of him in me.
I'm sorry, Hadley. Sometimes we unintentionally hurt the ones we love.
Such greeting card bullshit. You don't hurt the people you love the people you love.
Well, indeed. Birthing Lab Nexus. Here we go. But could that be That disembodied voice be the voice of CAYNE? The blood all over the walls would suggest that's pretty evident. Old plasma and unrecognisable stains have formed an interesting patina on the metal floor. Or maybe it's not blood plasma, but isn't plasma blood of some variety? Who knows? Right. Well, God tootin'. Do we want to go this way or this way? Let's go this way. Atmospheric readout. This display primitively summarizes the current temperature, humidity, toxicity, and other status levels of the specimen habitat. Glass barrier. Terminal. This terminal shows diagnostic information about the specimens, including growth charts, medical reports, and feeding schedule. Ooh, grub habitat. Ooh. Okay, check in. Caligula, Attilia, Mengele, Genghis, Mao, Nero, Vlad. I love how they've given them names of some of the most awful people in history. Was temporarily removed from the habitat using a beta containment canister. Caligula has exhibited extreme aggression towards her siblings. Mao consumed 5 appendages from Nero. I supplied raw meat and plasma to encourage brewed gas production. Vlad produced an excess of the nootropic vapor, which resulted in low visibility in the habitat. 1 cubic meter of gas was shipped to the CAYNE lab for the subjugation of Samantha. Vlad was returned to the habitat. Observation 1. Attila has started the metamorphic process. I've applied a metabolism inhibitor in order to inhibit stage 2 maturation. The grubs are responding negatively to maternal vocal calls. There is a possible rupture in the grub containment enclosure that is causing a brood gas leak that is in turn agitating Samantha. Habitat humidity reduced from 84 RH for the 5-12 hour hibernation cycle. I have a fly in my room and it's annoying me. I'm making a note of the crew facilities password in case Bolan locks me out again. So, that is a lightning bolt, a arrow, a plus sign, and another arrow. No, I need to draw that in the shape of an arrow. Okay, right. Writing these down really does help. Retrieval platform. A crusted smudges of brown ichor stain the specimen tray. I don't think I'm going to be able to do much with this.
Oh, God. It must smell terrible in there. Yeah, just thinking about it.
Oh, okay. Beta canister required. Well, clearly I don't have one of those.
Jesus.
You're scared?
Heck yeah, I'm scared. This place. Who could create this?
Monsters.
Right. Good time to save. Okay. Voice recorder, an authoritative voice broadcast from the tiny recording device. A PDA. Floating corpse. The lacerated ribbons of flesh and muscle tissue frame the shattered vertebrae like some grotesque work of art. A mangled PDT clings to the spinal cord. It smells like an abattoir. Acrid black smoke loops between the melted circuitry and plastic. Well, let's pick up the voice recorder. John Cairn.
Note to self, all that have not fins and scales in the seas, and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you. Leviticus 9:10.
Okay, a lever. The control box is connected to the hydraulic mechanism in the vat. Okay, so we've got ourselves a whip, a bloodstained whip with tiny burrs. A lever. Lever alone! I will look at the PDA in a minute, providing this doesn't kill me.
That was nasty.
What in the name of all that is holy? A uterus made of flesh and machine. And it sounds like somebody's frickin' exhaust is bigger than his penis. Uterus made of flesh and machine. Okay, right. Let's check out the PDA then. Professor John Cairn, February 09. Today...
They were growing someone.
Yeah, no shit.
They were trying to grow CAYNE.
Cloning is unpredictable. Cloning an individual is impossible.
It sounds like they were using something special. Something called Samantha.
Today is a holy day. Henry CAYNE himself has arrived, frozen and waiting for the great harvest to come. Soon the flesh of the immortal vessel will bring him new life. We're closer than ever, and I know it. The race has begun, and I will not allow Dr. Adams, the heretic he is, to win. No, CAYNE will not allow it. He knows his plan, and he knows that it ends with me. Our Leviathan is Samantha. Nothing on earth is her equal. A creature without fear. The Book of Job, 41:33. Never again will he die. Never again will he feel pain. Never again will he leave us. He will be reborn of his own duplicate flesh, and not that of Adams and his ridiculous mind transfer parlor trick. We are getting closer. Our next patient has undergone the new and improved genetic fusion procedure and is reacting well. The spinal cord has been killed, meaning that the dead cells will need to regenerate and reform into a functioning spine. No signs of physical rejection thus far, and cellular regeneration is slowly beginning. It should reconstruct itself overnight. Our Lord has stricken us with inadequacy. We have failed yet again. This is my fault, and I must, as always, accept responsibility. This time I've added hooks to my whip, and I shall flagellate until dawn. I will elaborate on the results after I've taken time to reflect. Fusing Samantha's DNA with the patient's caused the newly regenerated spinal cord to expand drastically, forcing the vertebrae to audibly pop into even halves. Soon after, the patient's immune system attacked the rogue spinal cells, which in turn retaliated by killing off all the other attached nerves. In the end, the patient succumbed to asphyxiation as the new cells burned through oxygenated blood more quickly than the lungs could produce it. Another failure, but still not a wasted body. Praise be. I've spent the day, or at least most of it, reflecting on our Saviour's brilliant plan. The pieces slide into place. Samantha, myself, and the almighty CAYNE in the same facility. The planets are aligning. The end draws near. Or perhaps the beginning. I'm glad we have finally found a use for Ralph. We have put him to a more productive task. His blasphemous lectures about how the fungal plague is a result of poor hygiene were getting on my nerves. It is CAYNE's doing. The plague is his retribution for our sins. Tonight we test again. We'll be using the same procedure as before, but this time an enzyme inhibitor will be introduced to prevent excess tissue regeneration, or generation. We must not accept failure. We will bask in the light of CAYNE's restored glory. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death. Revelation 2:11. Still the patient lives, however it has exhibited some concerning symptoms. Although the spinal cord has stopped regenerating at an appropriate time, the arms and legs will occasionally twitch, or more accurately flail. It seems that the spine has control over the connected limbs. The patient is no longer viable. After a promising start, the regenerative tissue again expanded beyond intention. Surprisingly, the patient's removed vocal cords were reconstructed. Of course, it did not understand speech. It must have been frightened by its own inhuman scream as it immediately tore its own throat out. After some gurgling, it regenerated within hours, then terrible screaming and bloody extraction. A cascade of rotting tissue, the previous throats began to form a dangling, bleeding scarf as the patient continued to tear itself apart. Oh, that abomination! As far as Sharon can tell, Adams's unrighteous creation has wasted precious flesh in making a toy of some kind. Just like its creator, the abomination has been an unholy waste of resources. Even a name such as Hobo is an undeserved grace. It is an animal and nothing more. Pestilence strikes. The fungal thread is weak now, but soon it will spread to our food and to our bodies. If it hasn't already, this is our first and perhaps final warning to make haste. I've traced the spores to a cargo shipment earlier in the year, but I have no idea how they became so virulent. Behold, with a great plague will CAYNE smite thy people, and thy children, and all thy goods. 2 Chronicles 21:14. The fungus is having an The fungus is having an observable impact on the cellular regeneration process. One patient began to develop a film of what resembled reptilian scales, complete with a secondary set of eyelids. This is unacceptable. The spinal regeneration process has been mastered. Almost any tissue can now be perfectly reconstructed, but it's impossible to get definitive results with this interference. CAYNE, if you truly seek rebirth, why do you hinder me so? Is this not the time? Surely there is a reason. Samantha scratched several demonic scrawls into an insignificant employee's back. I warn them not to get too close to the succubus. She is the devil. Sometimes we need to make a deal with hell to get closer to heaven. Forgive me, CAYNE. I succumbed to Sharon's temptation and had a romantic dinner rather than working late, as I should have done. Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit is indeed willing, but the flesh is weak. 1 Timothy 6:11-12. My repetitive failure has indeed had an impact on my faith. I am being tested. For the love of CAYNE, I shall rise above. Today I noticed that my laboratory is missing several incubators. The last inventory check was several months ago. So it could have gone missing at any time. This is undoubtedly the work of Adams, but why? He doesn't need the equipment, and I can certainly spare it. Perhaps the hobo is involved. It is disconcerting at best. Time is of the essence. Samantha's escape today is likely to be the first of many, and we will eventually run out of ways to subdue her. The re-engineered grubs are producing a potent gas that is driving the beast to fluster. Whether she kills us all or we find a way to kill her first, neither outcome revives CAYNE. I will not rest until he has returned to intervene. From this point forward, I live for nothing else. Okay, religious zealot. All good. Restraining harness. Tattered thermalon strapping and mangled clamps dangle ominously from the massive reinforced steel frame. Right. We shall go and input that code. Because it doesn't appear to be anything I can do with that, at least. I think that code was for the crew quarters. Oh, I cannot remember. Sure, I'll figure remember what it is when I click on some of the pictures. What's this one? Crew facilities. That was it. So it is a lightning. No. Oh, right. It is a lightning bolt, an arrow, a plus, and another arrow. Unlock,
Art.
please.
This can't be how I meet my end. I have so much more inside of me. I have so much more to give to the world.
Yep, this wasn't my plan either. This wasn't how it was supposed to be.
You're young. You can get through this.
And then, I'm stuck. Stuck with a baby. It's not a life. Not fair for either of us.
There are other choices.
Bingo! I did make a choice. It didn't end well. Women in my family have bad luck with babies. I'm continuing a proud family tradition.
Well, now that we've got this far, I think we shall end it there for now. And when we return, we shall explore the crew quarters. But for now, thank you very much for watching. I hope you all have a lovely rest of the day. Please feel free to like, comment and subscribe. And I hope to see you all again soon. Bye bye.